Okay, so I said that I wanted to do another video, and I am listening to your feedback. The first thing and the most important thing is that I realize I need a haircut, so I can't get a haircut right now, so I'm going to put it out. The next most important thing, somebody said that it needs to be more drinking, so I believe that your suggestion is correct and it will not go unheeded. So first thing is first, let's explain what we're doing here tonight. I asked you guys some questions, and I am going to read them. I glanced over them, but I haven't really paid too close attention to them. I'm going to read them, and I am going to answer them in the most honest way possible. So, without further ado, we will get started. I must note that I started drinking earlier. I started drinking earlier today, and I fell asleep. And so I'm actually doing this at like 11 o'clock at night, after I had kind of, drank a little bit too much already. So forgive me if I don't drink as much as you think I should be drinking, because it's already done. Okay, let's warm up with some of these questions here. I'm going to start with an easy one, and let's see what we got here. Okay, we'll start with this one. Did you buy the PS4 yet? If not, why? If yes, why aren't you playing Final Fantasy VII Remake now? I bought the PlayStation earlier today, and that in part is why I had started drinking. We had a couple shots, and then I had to kind of just hang out because I had a few too many shots, and then I passed out on the sofa, and I woke up, and here I am. I'm back like a couple hours later. So that is both the answer to did I buy the PlayStation and why I'm not playing it, Final Fantasy VII right now. And that's your answer, because I got drunk. Okay. PG, R, or X? There is no context to this question, but I'm going to go with X. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like there's a wrong answer there. Let's see. This one's from my little stepsis. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Really? I feel like I've been asked this question a bunch of times, and I never really come up with a good answer. I mean, there's people are thinking like maybe like flying or X-ray vision or the common ones, but I'm not going to go there. I don't really think that would be all that interesting. I mean, eventually you'd probably get bored of it. If I had a superpower, I think it would be to basically stop any argument right in its tracks. And let me elaborate that on a little bit. I mean, think of how useful that would be if you were just, arguing online like you always do, and you just have the ability to just snap your fingers and everything stops. The argument stops. Like, how many hours of sleep would you regain just for that, just from that power alone? It could also be useful to kind of just cut things before they start. Because let's face it, like, people just have really stupid ideas right now. They will fight about anything. And so to have that power just to boom, like knock it off and stop it, I think that would be pretty good. I think that would be my superpower. How many pairs of animals did Moses bring on the ark with him, including insects? Well, let's think about that for a second. It's been a long time since I read the Bible, but I'm thinking about the story of the ark, and I remember a few things about the ark. The first thing that comes to mind about the ark is, what the fuck is a cubit? I don't really know what a cubit is, and so I don't really know how big this ark is. So to start to just think about that, like, I mean, you would kind of have to know how big it is first, right? And then I don't recall the Bible saying anything about insects. I mean, I guess they were brought on the ark, but it's really hard to verify that without it being explicitly stated. And then pairs of animals. I guess on the ark, one pair of animals, each one. And then I guess the final point is that Moses didn't have the fucking ark. It was Noah. And then a follow-up question. Once and for all, how much wood could a woodchuck really chuck? Sorry for being so controversial. No problem whatsoever. I guess the answer is Geico. Geico is the answer. Okay, another follow-up question. Thoughts on Tiger King, and if they should really do a follow-up docuseries. I got to admit, I am one of the 3 people in the United States, probably in the world, that has not watched Tiger King. And I don't plan on watching Tiger King. It's not very high on my list of priorities. Mainly because I grew up in Philadelphia, and if I wanted to see crackheads and coke faces and meth heads talk about dumb shit, I would just go down to Kensington Avenue and get my fair share of all that. The second thing is, of all the things that are happening in the world right now, I think Tiger King as a documentary series is probably the weirdest. I don't know why it's popular, and maybe you guys can change my mind on this. What is it about the Tiger King that is so great, and why is everybody into it? All I really know is that Carol Baskins is a bitch. That's all I know. I don't know why, but that's it. Okay, I think I got one more question. Yes, it looks like one more question. Actually 2 more, because there is a question that's actually not here on the thread, but it actually needs to be addressed. Why are some of our really great girlfriends single? They're amazing. Well, Karina, there's a really simple answer to this, and this is probably going to sting a little bit. But if they're still single, they're probably really not all that great. The same goes for the men, myself included. If you still insist that they are indeed really, really great, as you say they are, then the answer is you have unrealistic expectations. They have unrealistic expectations. Or they just don't know what the hell they want. And I mean, let's face it, we all kind of go through bouts of that, but I'm going to go with you're not all that great and you don't know what the hell you want. Which brings me to the final question. That really wasn't a segue, but we're going to pretend like it was. If the year 2020 was a Game of Thrones character, it would be Ramsay Bolton. False. 100% false. Ramsay Bolton is a crazy psychotic motherfucker, but he is not 2020. 2020 is Theon Greyjoy. 2020 is Theon Greyjoy because it started out really innocent. You didn't really know what to think. And then something happened where you just lost your freaking mind about Theon. And everybody right now has lost their fucking mind. And we've actually kind of hit the point where I think April was like the point where he supposedly torched Bran and what's the other little shit's name? Rickon. It's like when he supposedly torched them. He took over Winterfell and then he basically torched his what are basically his little brothers. That's kind of where we're at in April. But I am optimistic that by the time December rolls around, that 2020 will be the Theon that takes a shitload of arrows and shit for protecting Bran, which is I'm pretty much convinced that Bran is the coronavirus. So he's going to be that's going to be where we're at in December, is that Theon Greyjoy is going to be taking all the attack and letting the coronavirus Bran survive, and then Arya jumps out in the middle of fucking nowhere and then saves the day, and that's going to be 2021. And that's all I got for now. So hope you guys enjoy my rambling, and I'll try to do this in a more timely manner next time.